Hey everyone, it's Laura here from makingcardswithsun.com, and in today's Saturday Stem Day carding video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a card using the Perfect Pair stamp set by Mama Elephant. I'm also going to be doing some Copic coloring, and then I will be showing you how to create this foil panel of this card. I'm going to start out by stamping some of the images from the Perfect Pair stamp set from Mama Elephant on some white Nina cardstock using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I like using this Tuxedo Black ink whenever I am doing some Copic coloring, just because the ink doesn't bleed. First I'm going to add some pink using an R11 Copic marker. Going to add that color to the inside of the ears of those cats, and I'm also going to be adding that color to the little noses of those cats. First I'm going to color the fur. I'm adding a base first using an NO Copic marker. This is just a super light gray color. Just like that. And then I'm going to be adding my first layer of shadow using an N1 Copic marker. I'm just going around the edges of that little image, so just like that. I'm using that as a guide. And then I'm going to add my second layer of shadows using the N3 Copic marker. Again, I'm just going around those edges of that image. And then when I added the shadows, I'm just going to blend that together using the same NO marker as I used in the beginning. Then after blending that together, I am going to color the second cat. I am giving him a base of N1, so I'm using an N1 Copic marker. And then I decided to add some stripes to this cat. I never have done this before, so it's not perfect at all. But first I'm going to add stripes using the N4 Copic marker. And then I decided to give that more of a shadow, or just a little bit of an extra pop of color, by using the N6 Copic marker. So just like that, and then I'm blending that all together using the same N1 Copic marker as I used first, so just to give that more of a soft look. I will be using, or I am using, the coordinating dies from the Perfect Pair stamp set by Mama Elephant, and I'm going to line that up. Here I'm going to die cut a white panel using the Stitch Duo 2 die cut set from Pretty Pink Posh. And then after lining up the cats onto this white panel, I'm going to stamp that jar onto this white panel using the same Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Then I'm going to add some shading using an NO Copic marker. I'm just going to add a light wash of color. And then I'm going to color the cat's drink using a BG10 Copic marker first. This is a Copic Chow marker, and then I am going to use the BG02 sketch marker to add a little stripe of shadow. Next, I'm going to stamp the straws from the Perfect Pair stamp set. I'm going to line that up, and I just had to stamp that twice since it didn't stamp all the way through. So I'm just stamping that again. And then I can just easily adhere those cats, and it will look like they are drinking from the jar using the straw, so it's kind of cute. So I'm just using some foam squares, and then I'm going to add some clear Wink of Stella glitter onto this jar, just to give it a little bit of an extra pop. And then here I am stamping a greeting using the same Perfect Pair stamp sets from Mama Elephant. I'm using some Memento Tuxedo Black ink once again. And I decided to add some glossy accents to that little jar just because it gives a little bit of an extra dimension. And then after I did that, I'm just going to add some a little bit of pink color on this panel using Sponge Sugar Distress ink, and I'm using my mini ink blending tool to add that color. I'm going to create a foil panel, so I'm using some pattern paper from Heidi Swap. This is from the Fifth Avenue collection, and I'm using some mint foil. So I'm just going to cover that up using printer paper, and then I can run it through my laminator machine. I didn't capture that on camera, I'm so sorry. But after I run that through the laminator, I just peel off the foil, and then you will end up with this beautiful foiled panel. I'm going to die cut a panel out of it using the large stitch rectangles die cut set from Lawn Fawn. And then I decided to give the background just a little bit of an extra touch. So I just stamped some tiny hearts from the Perfect Pair stamp set again. And I'm using Spun Sugar Distress ink for that. I'm going to adhere the foil panel onto my card using some foam squares. So just like that. And then I'm adhering the cat piece on top of the foil panel using my ATG by Scotch. Just really love this adhesive because it's just so strong. Last but not least, I'm adding a few sparkling clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. These are the 4mm size, and I am using glossy accents and my EK Success tweezers to adhere those onto the card. And that finishes up the card for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back next week. Bye bye.